Hello everyone. I will be starting with the biomechanical preparation of root canal. It will be covered under the following headings, starting with the introduction. The preparation of root canal system is recognized as being one of the most important stages in root canal treatment. It includes the removal of vital and necrotic tissues from the root canal system along with infected rodentin, and in cases of retreatment, the removal of metallic and non-metallic obstacles. It aims to prepare the canal space to facilitate disinfection by irrigants and medicaments. Now the instrument movement while shaping. First, watch binding. The least aggressive instrument action is most desirable in the early phases of root canal instrumentation. Many clinicians recommend a watch winding movement with rotation of a quarter turn using small K file to reach working length or to explore the canal prior to coronal flaring. Reaming. Reamers are instruments designed to enlarge or taper pre-existing spaces. Filing. The cutting action of file can be effected in either a filling or a reaming motion. In a filling motion, the instrument is placed into the canal and the desired length. Pressure is exerted against the canal wall, and while this pressure is maintained, the rake of the fluids rests the wall as instrument is withdrawn without turning. Preparation techniques. There are various preparation techniques like standardized, step back, circumferential filing, incremental technique, anti-curvature filling, step down technique, double flare technique, round down, balance force, canal master technique, apical box technique, aggressive enlargement technique, modified double flare, passive step back, alternate rotary motion technique, and apical patency technique. Starting with the standardized technique. It uses the same working length definition for all instruments introduced into the root canal and therefore relies on the inherent shape of the instruments to impart the final shape to the canal. It can therefore be also called as a single length technique, an approach that has recently gained popularity with the pro taper. Step back technique. It was first described by Clement Wien. It is also known as telescopic technique as final preparation resembles open telescope. The prepared root canal size increases section by section from apex to chamber. It involves stepwise reduction of working length for larger files, typically in 1 mm or 0.5 mm steps, resulting in flare shapes with 0.05 and 0.1 taper respectively. Mullane divided the step-back preparation into two phases. Phase 1 is establishing a apical stop and preparing the apical section, and phase 2, stepping back and cleaning the preparation, which include further refinement with gauge Glidden and apical stepping refinement. Then modified step-back technique. The apical preparation of the root canal is done in the same manner as step-back technique. The stepping back procedure begins 2 to 3 mm up the canal. This gives a short, almost parallel retention form to receive the primary gutta-percha point when lateral condensation is being used to fill the canal. The gutta-percha trial point should go fully to the constriction and slightly tucked back should be felt when a point is removed. This shows that it fits slightly into the last 2 to 3 mm of the prepared canal. Coming to the anti-curvature technique, it was advocated for smaller curved canals with concavities on root surface so as to prevent strip perforation. Such canals are mostly seen on mesiobuccal canal of maxillary molar, mesial root of mandibular molar, and mandibular incisors. The technique involves the use of pre-curved hand files that are manipulated to file the canal away from the danger zone. Coming to the crown down pressureless technique, the clinical procedure includes after completion of the coronal access, a provisional working length is determined. A size 30K file is introduced into the root canal with no apically directed pressure. Then a Glades Glidden number 2 is used, short or tool length explored by size 35 file, followed by Glades Glidden number 3 and 4. The next step is crown down technique, in which 60 number K file is used with no apical pressure. This is followed by sequentially smaller instruments progressing deeper into the canals. A radiograph is taken when instrument reaches the provisional working length and apically directed pressure continues until instrument reaches the definitive working length. The final step is to enlarge the apical area to the appropriate master apical file size at working length. Coming to the step down or crown down technique, it was given by George et al. In 1982. A primary purpose of this technique is to minimize or eliminate the amount of necrotic debris that could be extruded through the apical foramen during instrumentation. This would help prevent post-treatment discomfort, incomplete cleansing, and difficulty in achieving a biocompatible seal at the apical constriction. The procedure involves preparation of coronal root canal third using H-file of size 15, 20, 25 to the length where they bind. Thereafter, Gates-Glidden drill are used in ascending order, thus flaring the coronal segment of the main root canal. At this point and in the presence of sodium hypochlorite and a lubricant, step-down cleaning and shaping is done using watch winding motion. Apical instrumentation consists of negotiating the remainder of the canal with a small K file and by stepwise decrease of working length using incrementally larger files. Frequent recapitulation with a 25 K file to working length is advised to prevent blockage. Round-on instrumentation technique can be advocated by hand and round rotary instruments. Modification of step-down technique. According to Ruddle, after complete assess, the orifice should be enlarged with Gates-Glidden. This creates a smooth guide path to facilitate placement of subsequent instruments. Coming to the double flare technique, it was given by Fava in 1983. It is the hybrid of step-down and step-back technique. It is indicated in straight root canals or in the straight portions of the curved canals of mature teeth. Contraindication. It is not indicated in cases of calcified canals, young permanent teeth, or teeth with an open apex because they have thin dentinal walls and great pulp volume. Coming to the balanced force technique, it was given by Royner et al. In 1985. To utilize the balanced force concept, instrumentation should be refined into placement, cutting, and removal of each file using only rotary motions. Placement is accomplished using clockwise rotation and light inward pressure. Clockwise rotation of each instrument must be limited to no more than 180 degrees in order to prevent over-insertion of the apical portion of the instrument into dentine. Cutting is accomplished using counterclockwise rotation and inward pressure adjusted to match the file strength. That is very light for small instrument and heavy for very large instrument. Cleaning or debris removal is accomplished using 1 or 2 non-cutting pressure or slight outward pull clockwise rotation. It is normally completed only after desired length has been reached and maintained with counterclockwise rotation. Reason for clockwise placement and counterclockwise cutting may not be apparent at first. This is simply that a load delivered by clockwise rotation pulls away from the operator and moves the instrument apically, while a load delivered by counterclockwise rotation pushes towards the operator and moves the file out of the canal. When unmodified instruments are used, the working depth should be shortened by 0.25 mm with each change to the next larger instrument in order to prevent accumulation of tip cuts at single point. If accumulated, tip cuts will create a mechanical ledge. The step-back precaution is not necessary when the tips are modified and filling action may be used for more freely without a drastic loss of control. The next, passive step-back technique. It was given by Tornbinjak. The recommended instruments by Torabinejad are number 10 to 40K files, number 2 to 3 Gates-Glidden, number 2 to 3 piezo engine reamer, high-speed round and diamond burrs. Now the clinical steps include, first one is assess preparation. Appropriate size of round burr and handpieces should be used. Then after locating the canal orifice, assess cavity wall should be made. Failure to create tapered wall, assess cavity impedes operator's vision and ease or control over hand and engine instrument. After selection of stable reference point, then a number 15 file is placed into the canal to establish the estimated working length. Second is passive step-back instrumentation. After depositing sodium hypochlorite in the pulp chamber, number 10 and 15K file is used in the radiographic image. Apex with a very light 1/8 to 1/4 ton and push-pull strokes to establish apical patency with little or no resistance. Step 3 is passive use of Gates-Glidden. Now number 2 Gates-Glidden is inserted into midly flared canal to a point where it binds slightly. Then it is pulled back about 1 to 1.5 mm and then slow speed handpiece is activated. A similar technique is used to plane the flare with higher portion of the coronal region of the root canal with the use of number 3 Gates-Glidden file. The root canal is irrigated with hypochlorite between use of engine-driven instruments. Proper execution of this phase of treatment provides the operator with straighter line access to the apical region of canal than an unflared canal. Step 4 is confirmation of working length. Because flaring and removal of curvature reduce working length, it is essential to confirm the correct working length before apical preparation. After placing number 15 or 25 in the canal, working length is determined. Then next is apical preparation. After flaring and determining correct working length, number 25 should penetrate the full working length. Narrow or curved canal should not be enlarged beyond size of 25 or 30 files. Ultrasonic canal instrument. is based on sound as energy source that activates endochondric file. A combined shock, shear, and vacuum action resulted ultrasonic handpieces usually use K files as instruments for canal shaping. Before size 15 K file can fully function, however, the canal must be enlarged with hand instrument at least to the size of 20. The canal shapes and surfaces achieved by preparation with ultrasonic units have ranged from outstanding to disappointing, in particular regarding canal shapes and use of ultrasonic to shape canals has fallen into disregard over the last decade. Now the non-traditional techniques are laser-assisted canal. There are various lasers which are used absorbed by dental hard tissue such as enamel and dentine, and the YAG laser interacts with dark tissue and is transmitted by water. Excimer layers, erbium layers are strongly absorbed by dental hard tissues. Erbium YAG layer has more effect in debris removal, producing a cleaner surface with a greater number of open tubules when compared to ND-YAG laser. Non-instrumentation technique it was introduced as a minimally invasive approach for removing canal contents and accomplishing disinfection that did not involve the use of file. Conclusion: it can be concluded that mechanical preparation of the root canal may result in a significant reduction of bacteria, but not reproducibly leave bacteria-free root canals. Mechanical preparation leaves the root canal wall covered with debris and smear layer, if not accompanied by abundant irrigation with appropriate solution. Mechanical preparation of the root canal must be assisted and completed by intense disinfection protocols using appropriate irrigants and intracanal medicaments. Preparation technique and instruments, and finally preparation size have to be defined individually for each canal system. The use of NDI instruments facilitate preparation, especially of curved root canals. Thank you.